Hey, it's Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it's Tuesday. It's December 13th. This will be a chart lesson for the day, and nice uptrend today. We didn't quite get a measured move. Once we had this first leg in place, I'd measure it, and then from the lowest point on the correction where it starts higher again, and that would give us a target up here. We didn't make that, but would have been nice if we would have continued higher there, but we didn't. So, but this is still a fairly easy day, and there's maybe a larger pattern here, but you really don't need it. All you need are these three trends right here. Real simple, and there's no need to complicate it. And speaking of, I had a trader. He's done this a couple of times. Not sure what he's getting at, but he posted yesterday on yesterday's chart that he saw it a little differently than me, and that so obviously trend lines are subjective, and this is what he saw, which this was here yesterday. I saw this, but it didn't help you in the trading. You didn't need it. This is just a larger pattern within the smaller patterns. Just like over here, like I said, there's probably a larger pattern over here, but you don't need it. You just need the smaller ones. And you can see that this one, you would have got it off your first two swings. You actually could have had this earlier than that by drawing it right across these lows and dragging that up the high, which I originally had it here. But you don't always get it exactly right. So once it's finished forming, you adjust it. And then you find the midpoint, which is right in here. And actually more right in there. And you got your channel. It's that simple. So yeah, he's right. There was another channel here, but it didn't help you really find any of the extra trades during the day, other than it might have helped you with this one, but you didn't even need it then because we had a break out of this uh, trading range across here, and it's a failure, and there's a trend line working up, and there was a break and a new high of it as well. So it didn't really help you find any trades. Notice this is your key entry point, and coming back, you never came back to it until the day was almost over. And even then, you really didn't get a setup based on that. You still needed to get your setup based on a failed break higher there. Um, and even then, I probably don't know if I wouldn't be crazy because really your bias was starting to get long down here, more to the upside because we're making higher highs each time. Of course, we're headed back to another point, but yeah. So to say this, you think trend lines are subjective because you saw this and I didn't have it on my chart. Well, I saw this as well. I just didn't come. We didn't need it to describe any of the trades. It was not very helpful. So it wasn't on my chart, and I didn't talk about it. You didn't need it. So I hope that's clear. You know, anybody that wants to believe that trend lines are subjective, then that's your right. You're welcome to it. But I don't. I disagree. I think they're very objective, and if you know how to draw them and you follow the rules, they're going to help you almost every day. You might have to occasionally you might have to adjust them. This one was obvious. You drew it off those first closes, and look, it came right back into play again. You got your break, moved to a new high. This one's coming down. You get it off those first couple of swings using those closes right there, and look, it comes back to it. You finally got a break, and you end up getting two legs down, and it reverses. Same thing here. This one was a little harder to find. I got it off I adjusted off these highs and moved it down. Originally, I had a little steeper one here, and there is a little shorter term steeper one there. But you needed to find this one. And once you found it, all your trades were right up through there. So, um, yeah, let's get to the chart lesson. Enough on that. Oops, I'm trying to make it a little bigger here so it's easier to see. But this is a real strong trend. You know it's not going to stay that steep for very long. It's just too steep. A good trend, a good solid trend that's healthy is about 45 degrees. So remember that. When it's this strong, eventually you're going to get a correction. And, you know, my best guess based on this kind of day with this big of a move, we're going to correct a little bit, and then we'll find support, and then we'll start another leg up. And that's why I was looking for that measured leg that I showed you. Even though we didn't get it, that's what I'm looking for early on. And I'll draw my trend line and read the price action until it tells me otherwise. And this is where you actually got to close outside here. moved to a high, and it overshot up here, and it reversed and corrected. That's what you would expect to see happen. So the first trade I saw was right here. Only reason I didn't like this is more sideways. It is making lower highs, but you're not making lower lows, and you get that little drop right below that double bottom, and it turns up. But because of those lower highs, there is somewhat of a trend line right through there. And so you got to be careful of that. Plus, that's the first entry. There really is a second entry hidden there. You got to move down, a move back up, and another move down, and then you went forward again. So there's a hidden second entry there. So if you want to be real aggressive, you might take that one, but I'm really going to usually probably wait and see if you get a little break and a move back, and you get that right here. You do have to go long at the high of the day, but this is a double bottom down here, and so that's like a failed second entry short right there. But it's the main thing is this confirms your trend line. You got two swings, this third touch, and it just touches and gives you another confirmation. You might let it break higher here and use the limit order just to make sure you got a little extra room. Didn't matter. It went on regardless. And then this is another double bottom, so you can count that as a new low again. Actually, you do get a little push lower there that breaks out. This one is real close to blue, and this one is real close to green. So all these trades are right there, you know, semi-aggressive, I guess you would say. But when you get a strong trend like this, you're not going to get a good setup. So we finally get a break here. And the only reason I made this one green, it's not a very good signal bar or anything, but this is a double bottom, and so you can treat it like a failed second entry short. We're a little bit away from the EMA still. We've been away for a while, so but yeah, if it breaks higher and you can get in with enough room to get out before that high, then maybe you go for it. And it would have been a great trade. Any of these would have been a great trade, to be honest. This one would have given you a runner. And you want to try to catch runners on these trends. So, and then of course we got the break, a move to a new high, and then we get a failed second entry long right there. Normally I'd like for this to be below the EMA by the time you get that failure, but doesn't matter. You're looking for a reversal. You got a trend line there, and that confirms it. It went higher first and then turned down, so it's like a failed second entry long as well. Just go short right there. Comes back, confirms that trend line again, gives you a big bearish bar. And notice that's a little congestion area, and that's a little one tick failure out of that. I like that one. Go short. That's a good little move. Comes back. Again, it's tempting to go short right here, but you don't have a break of that little corrective trend line there. And so I want to see it at least attempt a retest, which it does there. And it actually goes higher right there and then turns and goes back out right here. You can't wait for this bar. It's too late. So if you took this one, you had to go short right there. Comes back. Again, it was tempting to go short right here, but you got that little trend working up, and it usually is going to try to come back again. And of course it does. And of course you might have looked at this like the failure. But you got a little support right here and a little double bottom, and you don't have much room. So let it come back and see if it gives you a better entry. And of course, you did have a break here too. So, and you got two legs down. You don't quite have a new low though. But when it tries to go higher again and gives you that bearish bar, I like going short there. And off to the races it goes. And so now you got your break, two legs down to a new low, and it reverses. So wait for your reversal pattern here. You might have, it actually occurs right here, but we're going sideways there, and there's a doji in there, so 4 or 5 bars stacked up. So I wasn't too crazy about that one. I think you needed to let it show a little more bullishness first. And so then you get another leg up, and you get that correction. Again, this one confirms that trend line, so but again, you don't have a break, so I'm not crazy about taking that one. I think I marked it green, but again, let you get your break and at least try to come back, and there you get it there, and look, you get a nice bullish bar, and look at it go. Same thing, it comes back. You don't really get a good signal bar here, and then you get your break, and it comes back. You actually get a new low on that one. Go long right there. Even though you don't have much room, this is a good trend line, and you can see it. You've got it proven on both sides. Go long right there. Um, then it pulls back here, but again, not a very good signal bar, and you're so close to that high. I'm not going to risk an entry here if I wasn't already in, and I'm not going to add on to that one either. But you can see it takes off. And you actually have a new low here and a higher low. So if it wasn't right into the high of the day, I'd probably say take that trap long. You probably could still argue for it. It is a failed second entry short. We're a little ways away from the EMA, but we're not quite back to the other side. So there's room to push you on up and look at it go. So I'll mark that one green, but I think you're better off to wait. Notice what happens. You come back. You don't get a close outside on this one, but every one of these has bounced so far and not been a problem, and that is a very bullish bar. And there is a hidden second entry there, like I said. Comes down, you go up, first entry, pull back. And if you went to a smaller chart, you would actually see it, but you're not going to see it on this chart. So, and you're actually going sideways there with a doji in there, so that can be treated like a failed second entry short. So I like that one. Didn't take off real fast, but notice how we're closing inside that trend line every time. And then it pulls back here. And again, we're going sideways here. And so I got a little nervous on this one. So I said, I just think with all that sideways action and not taking off, again, you probably could argue for that one to be green, but I'm not crazy about it. But when you get the reversal pattern, which is the failed second entry short, so to speak, then look at it, how it takes off, and that's right off that key entry point. And you do get a close outside there, so now you got a new high. You may, and you overshoot it here, so you may get a reversal, or you may just get a correction. But if you draw that trend line off those first few bars and closes and swings there, you actually confirm it right here, but I'd want a little more correction. And notice it comes back. That's your failed second entry long. Notice how it pushes through the EMA. This is an ideal reversal pattern. Failed second entry long, big bearish bar, go short right there. And that's the trade of the day, really, almost. You catch a runner there, you catch a runner here. And you just ride this one all the way down until you get a break or whatever your rule is on reversing. So this is the first close outside this trend line, and so you don't want to be going long there. You might have gone short on that second entry. It's not too late. I didn't mark it, but that's a great trade. First entry, second entry, and look how bearish that bar is. The only thing is you might have looked at this like a trend right here, but even if you did, you got an overshoot right there, and that's generally going to lead to a reversal. I like that short if you want to take it. It's a little late in the day, but I still like it. And it was a nice, easy trade. So, yeah, there it was for today. And these, like I said, these channels were real easy to find, all three of them. That's all you needed. Like I said, there's probably a bigger pattern here, and you can see that. If you saw that right there, I'd be okay entering right here on that instance. I still think you're better off to wait, but notice actually it's not really off that trend line, so you're probably better off to wait here. So that's a failed second entry short, but again, you had that trend line working down, so it doesn't really change anything again. But just to show you that it's there. Let's see how the midline plays out. That's probably going to be midways, something like that. But anyway, it's there. But again, it doesn't really help you. It might have given you a little more courage to go long right in here, but in the big picture, it doesn't come into play really. So you don't need it. All you need is these three. And it was just similar to the way it was yesterday. You didn't really need these two. You just needed the shorter term stuff that I had the step downs and stuff that I showed you yesterday. If you want to go back and watch that video if you hadn't seen it. So yeah, anyway, nice trading day. Especially getting this close into the Christmas holiday. This was a nice day. Hopefully we'll get some more of this, but I'm going to wrap it up for the day. We'll be back again to do it tomorrow. But I'm out of here for today. This is Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.